Hello everyone and welcome to NFL Discussion. I'm your host and NFL enthusiast Doug. In today's episode I'm going to be discussing Monday Night Football Week 8 of the 2023 NFL season. The Raiders taking on the Lions. And well, for the Lions, this was an opportunity to bounce back after an ugly Week 7 game against the Ravens, and bounce back they did. Granted, the offense still got a ways to go, but Amon St. Brown and Sam Laporta continued to do their thing, and Jahmyr Gibbs had himself a night. So even though the offense might not have had their best performance, the individual pieces on the offense show that, hey, team's going to be okay, and the defense continues to make plays and step up in a big way. And for the Raiders, well, their defense is still good, but their offense is still very much holding this team back. And with that, we'll go ahead and get right into the action, starting with the Las Vegas Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo completed 10 of 21 passes for 126 yards, one interception, adding 12 yards and 2 carries. So the Raiders remain the only team left in the league that have not scored more than 21 points in the game this season, continuing to struggle to move the ball out with any semblance of consistency. 7 of the 14 points against the Lions came on a pick 6. Garoppolo missed numerous passes tonight, most notably a wide open Davante Adams for what could have been a walk-in score from 60 yards out. And now 3-5 Raiders await a softer matchup at home against the Giants in Week 9. Josh Jacobs rushed 15 times for 61 yards and a touchdown, adding 27 yards on 2 receptions. And Jacobs actually led the team in both rushing and receiving on the night. The offense gained only 206 total yards of offense. The fact that his 4.1 yards per carry mark stood as the best of the season says a lot for how fully the Raiders have played through 8 games. But Jacobs continues to maintain a steady workload and remains involved in the passing game, at least for the time being. Davante Adams caught 1 of 7 targets for 11 yards, and Adams and Garoppolo were simply never on the same page in this one, with the quarterback most notably missing a wide-open Adams for that 60-yard walk-in score. The veteran all-4 receiver has been very vocal about his lack of emphasis in the offense as of late, with this game likely only fueling that fighter. Who knows what will happen in the next 48 hours before the trade deadline on Tuesday. So to sum this game up for the Raiders, the defense did everything it could. Shout out Max Crosby, continuing to wreak havoc in the backfield for quarterback. He continued to wreak havoc in the backfield. And also Marcus Peters getting himself a pick 6 as well too. So another solid performance by the defense, but there's only so much that the defense could carry this team, with the offense still looking very much listless. Jimmy Garoppolo back in the lineup, but that didn't mean anything for the offense. Not really doing a whole lot on the ground, not really doing a whole lot through the air. That's kind of been the theme of this Raiders team. They haven't really had any great offensive performances, and they don't score a lot of points, don't put up a lot of yards. And then, that does raise the question of, is it coaching or is it talent? I'm thinking it's more coaching than it is talent. And Davante Adams, well, dude is on a milk carton. I mean, I don't know how one of the great wide receivers of the game can just go missing, how you can have this guy and not have him involved at all. So, yeah, it might be too late to facilitate a trade, but deadlines do spur actions, so maybe a team can swoop in and make a trade. I know the Raiders said they didn't want to trade him, but I think you just gotta do what's best for the player here and just move him to a different team, because he's clearly not happy there. And I think just keeping him there throughout the season with how things are currently going, it's just going to lead to a messy divorce in the offseason. So, or at least that's the way it seems like it could go. So why not just get ahead of it and just cut your losses now? Detroit Lions. So Jared Goff completed 26 of 37 passes for 272 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Goff wasn't asked to do much in the second half with the Detroit defense taking over the game, but the Lions struggled to find pain on numerous occasions against the defense that came into the contest, ranked 27th in red zone defense. Riley Patterson had attempted just 8 field goals in the first 7 games before 5 attempts in this game, which highlights the struggles of an offense where it mattered most. Furthermore, Goff made a silly mistake to start the third quarter when he threw that pick 6. Even so, the Lions get a win and improve to 6-2 and remain atop the NFC North heading into their bye. Jahmyr Gibbs rushed 26 times for 152 yards and a touchdown, adding 37 yards on 5 receptions. Gibbs was the focal point of the offense from the start, seeing a touch on nearly every play on the team's first drive before gashing the defense in the second half. It will be interesting to see how the team handles the impending return of David Montgomery after Gibbs showcased top-end talent against a couple of strong AFC opponents. If there was one area on the field that he struggled with, it was in the red zone, where he failed to convert on his 4 opportunities. Closed on his 4 opportunities. Week 8 could mark the final true workhorse role of the season for him, as Montgomery will likely be ready to return after the bye. Ron St. Brown caught 6 of 9 targets for 108 yards, and the highlight of the game for the Sun God was a 44-yard catch and run down the sideline through 2 broken tackles that helped send his yardage total beyond 100 on the evening. An extremely positive game script paired with an offense that tilted heavily to the ground game in the second half suppressed what could have been a truly massive night for St. Brown. Even so, the Lions go into the bye week at 6-2 in the top AFC North, awaiting a matchup with the Chargers in Week 10. So the recap for this game: the Lions bounced back after a rough Week 7. Still got some things to work on offensively, but Jahmyr Gibbs having a breakout game indicates that everything's more than likely going to be alright for this Lions team. The NFC North is pretty much theirs to lose. I don't anticipate them losing it. I think they win the division and get to host a playoff game. Yeah, thinking too far ahead, but then again, you win the division, you host a playoff game, you look at the rest of the NFC North, the Packers and Bears are pretenders, and the Vikings, well, what happens next with them depends on what they do at the quarterback position. And with that will conclude this episode of NFL Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.